What about you, whiskey lovers, and welcome to another episode of Whiskey Straight with me, Big Al. Thanks for tuning in. It's a pleasure to have your company, and if you'd like to support the channel in addition to subscribing, the relevant links are in the description down below. So today we are having a look at really what's an entry-level blended Irish whiskey. It's the Samuel Gelston's, yes, as I've already said, blended Irish whiskey, which is bottled at 40% ABV. It's triple distilled, and it's a blend of malted barley and grain, which is matured in Axe bourbon casks. Now, this will normally cost you around 22 quid as a recommended retail price, but it's quite often offer 20 quid, or even, as I picked this bottle up, 16. So that's a winner all day long and that. So without further ado, let's get right into it. If you've got a pour of this or something similar, please bring it into your glass and we'll share a wee dram together as we go through the notes. Sláinte. Right off, it gives a nice malty note right on the arrival, and then what follows very quickly thereafter is a touch of grain. It's floral, it's buttery. There's even a nice wee touch, a wee hint of a new leather smell there as well. And interestingly, a dried out oily rag. And yes, despite these smooth hands and lack of, well, workmanlike demeanour, I do know what that smells like. Getting some nice marshmallow notes as well. And then a touch of light licorice. Not too bad in the nose at all. Let's get on to the palate. Cheers. Right on the arrival, malty once again. Buttery evening. Even. And there's like a wee sprinkling of cinnamon there. It's like melted butter on top of toast with a wee sprinkling of cinnamon right there on top. It's quite pleasant indeed. Very nice. Now the bourbon influence comes through in terms of some vanilla, wee bit of light oak, and then that initial cinnamon becomes like an orangey, spicy zing. It's a bit like some of that breakfast orange juice you get in some of the hotels. You know, it's a wee bit powdery. It's not the proper stuff, not the good fresh squeezed stuff, but it comes across as powdery. Tastes all rightish, but it's just not the real thing. That's what it comes across as, and it also gives a bit of a malty, biscuity note on the back of that as that powderiness goes across the palate. Now the mouthfeel, I've got to say, it is pretty thin. And that's probably why that initial butteriness, which is nice, fades quite quickly and breaks into that powdery, orangey element that I've just described. And then it just all disappears rather quickly to quite a short finish. All in all, this is, well, it's a light drinking, easy going sipper. It's nothing special, but then again, it's inoffensive as well. It's definitely entry level, and you know, if you're getting it at 16 quid, like, it's a buy all day long. And that, you know, it's if you're going to pick one up and try it, You know, you're not going to get a bottle of whiskey for much cheaper than that these days, especially the way the prices are. But you know, I don't want to dump on it because it's not a bad whiskey. It's just that it's not exciting in any way. It's there, it's whiskey, and it's at that entry level. But in terms of a score, I think that's going to have to be an 82. Good enough, decent whiskey at that level. But you know what, if you're a seasoned whiskey drinker, you'll probably want to avoid this. Now, I have tried the single pot still that Gelstons do, and it's pretty similar to this. Decent, inoffensive, easy-going whiskey. And you know, they do say with these that it would probably be good for a mixer or in a cocktail, because there's no way this whiskey is going to overpower a mixer or a cocktail. Now that said, there's also a Gelston's single malt, and it's best avoid it. It really is. It's not anywhere near as good as this, but I'll maybe bring you a review of that someday, if you want it, of course. But it's very, shall we say, underwhelming. But anyway, we're dealing with this. Decent enough wee pour, but nothing special. So, rambled on long enough. Thanks for tuning in. It's been a pleasure to have your company once again. Thanks for all your ongoing support. Thanks to you guys who support me on Patreon and Subscribestar. And until the next time, folks, please look after yourselves, look after each other, and keep on drinking your whiskey the way you like it. Don't you? Thanks for watching, folks. I really do appreciate it. Please check out these other reviews, and if you'd like to support the channel, the best way is by subscribing, liking and commenting. And don't forget to ring that bell for all video notifications so you don't miss out on any future content. Cheers.